Hello, everybody. I hope you guys are enjoying your Sunday. Today, we're bringing you our weekly forecast from the 16th of December all the way to the 22nd of December. And this is our second weekly forecast. We're going to be doing these every Sunday here. So make sure that you do become subscribed so that you know when I do post these videos. It kind of gives you a good understanding of what this week is going to be like for your area. So here we're going to start off here with your precipitation anomalies. And you see in this brown or tan shade, you have below average or slightly below average. And that's we have two shades. So we have two areas. We have from California and Arizona up through into the Rockies, and then all the way up into Washington, Idaho, and Montana. Now, we also have another area here stretching from Minnesota down through Iowa, Missouri, Oklahoma, Texas, and then also stretching into the Northeast. And those are all your slightly below average areas. Now, here is your second shade of below average, and this is your moderately below average. So it's going to be more noticeable in these areas that you did have a pretty dry week. And I know a lot of these areas actually just came off of a really wet week. So it's going to be some nice relief, let the ground dry over those areas where you can be experiencing moderately below average conditions, and that's going to be over the parts of New England into parts of upstate New York, much of the interior Northeast, stretching into the northern Great Lakes, and even into parts of the Midwest, and then also another area here for Washington and Oregon where you could be experiencing moderately below average conditions. Now, here we have one shade of one layer of above average, and that's your slightly above average layer, and that's going to be stretching from Louisiana into Mississippi, Alabama, Tennessee, Virginia, West Virginia, and then into Kentucky. You guys could be experiencing some slightly above average conditions this week. So it's going to be a pretty wet week. You're going to have a couple systems come through, and especially some severe weather that could erupt over these areas from this little system that's currently somewhere between Kansas and Missouri, somewhere around there, and that's going to be kind of tracking through and bringing some severe weather to these areas, and that's going to cause some flooding, of course. So that's why you're going to be kind of tilted slightly above average. Now, that was our only layer of above average. We're going to move on to our temperature forecast. So here we're going to start off with your slightly below average layer, and that covers a good portion of the U.S. So stretching from the southwestern U.S., the Four Corners, all the way through the southern plains, the southeast, and up through the northeast, Great Lakes, and northern plains, you could be seeing moderately or slightly below average conditions. Now here we have two areas of moderately below average. So that's going to be from Nevada, Utah, and northern Arizona, all the way stretching through the central part of the country. So through Missouri, Arkansas, and then up north into Pennsylvania, New York, Vermont, New Hampshire, Maine. And then we have another area where you could be experiencing an Arctic blast coming right in around the 18th through the 22nd. And you'll see that later on in the video. We'll talk about that a little bit more. And see North Dakota, South Dakota, Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan all seeing some moderately below average conditions this week as far as temperatures. Now, here is your third shade, well below average here over northern Michigan into the UP of Michigan, Wisconsin, and then into Minnesota. This is where you're going to really be right around 6 to 7 degrees below average, averaged out on the entire week. So that's going to be well below average, and that's why you're in this darkest blue shade. Now, here is your above average area, and this is going to be from Northern California, Oregon, and Washington through Idaho, Montana, and then down into South Dakota, Nebraska, and Wyoming, where you're going to be experiencing some pretty warm conditions compared to average. In this first shade, it shouldn't be too noticeable, but where you're in this orange, it should be fairly noticeable, especially with a couple of systems moving through that are going to move through, and those are going to bring a lot of rainfall to these areas and kind of warm up that atmosphere. So through northern Montana, northern Idaho, much of Washington state, and then northern Oregon, you could be experiencing moderately above average conditions from the 16th all the way through the 22nd. Now, we're going to look at your special events section, and this is going to be kind of showing you kind of some storms and notable events that are going to be happening this week. So, I made a video on this yesterday, but I felt I'm just going to reuse this map. So, because it did take quite a bit of time, but you kind of see this is your Clipper system, and this was made yesterday, so of course this has to be updated a little bit, but not too much has changed. Now the low pressure is slightly further to the east, so that's really the only thing that has changed. You have the severe threat to the south with some thunderstorms as well, then rain and rain showers also to the south of this low pressure. You're gonna see a wintry mix, kind of snow turning to wintry mix, ice, and then to solid rain over these areas, staying ice for a good portion of the period of this time period in northern Pennsylvania, really northern and central Pennsylvania, and then into northwestern most New Jersey, and then snow and snow showers here. Really, the heaviest snow in this darker, moderate shade of blue, and that's stretching from all the way from easternmost Colorado up through into Maine, and then snow showers, of course, farther away from the low pressure where the intensity is kind of lowered. Now, here we have our second special event here, and this is going to be a large storm that's going to be impacting from the 19th through the 23rd. So this is going to be from really, it's going to start off in Washington and Oregon, where you could get 3 full days of rainfall, and then it's going to move further south, where in California, Nevada, Arizona, even into Utah and New Mexico, you could be seeing about a day of rainfall or snowfall in the higher elevations, of course. And this red kind of indicates it's really just a big band of moisture, a big hose of moisture, the Pacific jet stream, kind of just bring a bunch of moisture into parts of Washington and Oregon, and that's just gonna bring anywhere from 3 to, I would say, about 8 inches in some areas, and this is gonna be happening starting off with Washington and Oregon on the 19th through about the 21st or 22nd, and then the 23rd, in the 22nd and 23rd is really going to be for California, Nevada, Arizona, into Utah, and also New Mexico. Now here is our third special event, and this is going to be an Arctic chill that's going to impact parts of the northern plains, so including North Dakota, South Dakota, into Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, Iowa, Illinois, Indiana, and it's stretching through the Great Lakes, so Ohio, West Virginia, into Maryland, Pennsylvania, upstate New York, New Jersey, and then into New England, you're seeing Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, all being impacted by an Arctic chill, and this could bring temperatures closer to the teens all the way down into the mid-Atlantic, some areas below zero once you get into New England and upstate New York, and even some areas, once you get into Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, seeing well below zero, so close to -10. And then also for parts of the Midwest, you could be seeing a lot of areas below zero. So really, these areas could have the threat of being below zero this week. And then these areas really could be the most below zero, or actually kind of extending like this, where you could be seeing temperatures -10, -20 below zero. And these temperatures will be about 20 to 30 degrees below average. And this is going to be happening from the 18th, so from December 18th all the way to the 22nd. Now, finally, we have to talk about this nor'easter, and this is going to be quite interesting because it could be bringing snow to areas of the Northeast, and this will be impacting. Look at this, the 24th, Christmas Eve. So this snow will still be, if this does occur, probably still going to be on the ground for Christmas. So your hopes of a white Christmas increase in the Northeast. If you do want a white Christmas in the Northeast, it's looking just a little bit more likely. You're going to have this nor'easter kind of tracking in from starting really in Florida as some unorganized thunderstorms. Once it goes over to South Carolina, really, I was looking at the European model, which has been quite consistent, showing a lot of snow and rain over parts of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic, and then it's going to kind of track north, intensify a little bit, kind of form a coastal low here, and then move out and potentially bring some pretty good wraparound snow even to the I-95 corridor. We are going to have to talk about this more, and of course, I'm going to be making my Christmas forecast, my Christmas Eve and Christmas Day forecast, probably sometime this week. So probably on Saturday or Monday, because on Sunday, of course, I'm going to be making my next weekly forecast. So stay tuned for that. It's going to include my white Christmas percent chances, my own forecast, and then where we're gonna kind of be looking at a bunch of different models, kind of seeing what they're looking at as far as where the snowfall could set up. But some models indicating a foot of snow over these areas, really, but that's not too likely yet. We're gonna talk about that a bit more, like I said, as we get later on and closer to this event, closer to Christmas. So if you did enjoy this video, it is kind of going to wrap it up here. If you did enjoy it, please consider liking the video, subscribing, and turning on notifications so you never miss a video when I upload. Anyways, guys, I'm going to kind of jump out. I'm gonna leave you guys here. Hopefully you guys did subscribe, leave a like, and turn on notifications. I'm gonna be posting another video tomorrow, probably kind of showing the next system that's going to be coming through, that system that's moving through parts of Missouri, Kansas. Kind of be talking about that tomorrow in my next video. Anyways, I am going to see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.